Hey guys, and welcome to May's wrap-up video. We are at the end of May, so if you don't know, in these videos I talk about all of the films, TV shows and books that I've watched/read during the month. And would you believe it, guys, there are more films than books this month. I know, shock horror, we have films to talk about, but we've pretty much already talked about them all. So there you go. But yeah, this is going to be a very short wrap up, I think, because I haven't really had too much time to consume a lot of media this month. I haven't been playing many video games either. Shameless plug, of course, but if you go over to my video gaming channel, Ember Games, I talk about all of the video games I've been playing as well. Let's talk about all of the films first. So, I spoke about these in last October's wrap-up, funny enough, but I rewatched The Menu and Ready or Not this month because I watched them on my own the first time and I really wanted to watch them with my husband because I thought he would enjoy them, and he really did. He really liked both of them. I, again, have spoken about both of these films before. The Menu is such a bizarre film, but I absolutely love it, and Ready or Not is just a bit of fun. I really like Ready or Not. So yeah, we watched both of those films. I can't really talk about them too much more than I already have on this channel, but yeah, I thought I'd include them. And the last film that I watched, so is another rewatch, and that is Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, the Hunger Games prequel. I, of course, went to the cinema to see Ballad last year, so you will have heard my thoughts on that already as well. I haven't rewatched it since the first time going to the cinema, so I finally got the DVD this month, and I watched it. Of course, that's why it's here. I love Ballad, I really, really do. I'm a huge Hunger Games fan, as you guys know, and I think Ballad is fantastic. I really, really do. So that's actually all the films. Three rewatches. No new films this month, but I did want to put this here just because there's no category for it. I did, of course, watch the Eurovision Song Contest. Huge Eurovision fan here. Shameless. I don't care. I love Eurovision. I love the cheese. I love it. And I want to give a big shout out here to two people. So first of all, to one of my close friends, Holly. I went to her house for a little bit of a Eurovision party and it was super, super fun. I really enjoyed that. And also to a good friend, Mark, because me and Mark, every year we talk about Eurovision and it's just so much fun. I absolutely love Eurovision, and getting to share it with people is just lovely. So let's talk about TV shows. I'm looking at my list and I'm like, how do I even say this? I finished American Horror Story Delicate. Yeah, if you've watched it, you'll know why I'm doing this, because what the bloody hell was that? It was terrible. It was terrible. So the whole season wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. There were some good moments in the season, but the ending, I wasted so much time. And there was a huge gap between part 1 and part 2 as well. And because of the writers' strike. So I waited ages for part 2. It was terrible. Like, I love American Horror Story. Is that my worst season? Yeah, I do. I think that's the worst season of American Horror Story that's ever been. So let's move on to another TV show. Of course, it's Doctor Who. Doctor Who started this month. So I have watched Space Babies, The Devil's Cord, Boom, and 73 Yards at time of recording. And I think that's all that's out by the time you're seeing this as well. So the next one is on Saturday? Yeah. So they're the only 4 that are out. So here we go. Space Babies, hated it. Couple of good moments, really didn't like it. The Devil's Cord, loved it. Really, really liked it. Boom, loved it. 73 Yards, confusing. Liked it, but confusing. I have a feeling that this season is, especially knowing Russell T Davies, is going to make a lot more sense by the end rather than as we go along. I think this is a season that is all going to come together at the finale. I really do. Which is not a problem. However, watching them individually I find quite difficult because there's so many through lines, there's so many questions. I'm not going to do any spoilers here, so please don't worry. But there's so many questions that I have a feeling will be answered later on. And there's a channel here that I watch called Council of Geeks, run by Vera. And she made a very interesting point in her review of Boom, I think it was. Might have been The Devil's Cord, but I think it was Boom. She made a really interesting point on, if something is better the second time you watch it, does that negate the problems you had the first time? And I have a feeling that that's what this season is going to be. It's going to be better watching it when you know everything. But does that mean that we should have to wait for that end result. Does that make sense? So I've had a lot of problems with TV shows this month. I really like Ncuti Gatwa as the Doctor. I really like Millie Gibson as Ruby. And overall, I am enjoying the season. But I have a feeling, like I say, a lot's going to be resolved at the end, which leaves us hanging throughout, if that makes sense. So, very difficult to talk about. I really do think this is a season where we have to talk about the whole season, and maybe we'll do that when it's over. So, of course, you'll hear about Doctor Who in the upcoming wrap-ups, but yeah, not too bad for me. 3 out of the 4 I liked. 1 I really didn't. The next TV show and the last, of course, Bridgerton Series 3 Part 1. Of course, I've watched Bridgerton. Love it. Love Bridgerton. I don't even need to talk to you about it too much, but this is, of course, Penelope and Colin's season. That's not a spoiler. That's what we know. And the only thing that I'm struggling with a little bit with Bridgerton is the pacing is quite fast for these two characters. That I think for Penelope, we've known her the whole way through and we have a good sense of who she is. No spoilers, we have a good sense of who she is. For Colin, I don't think we have as good a grasp of who Colin is. And I think that's intentional, actually, because I don't think Colin has a good grasp of who he is. So hopefully we see that progress, but I cannot wait for part 2 because it's gonna go down. I love Eloise and it's gonna go off and I can't wait. I'm so excited. So yes, Bridgerton part 2. Hopefully, is it next month? I think it's next month. So we'll be talking about it next month. Speaking of next month, House of the Dragon is next month as well, I think. So we're gonna have a lot to say about TV shows. And that's actually it, because the next segment is books that I've read, and honestly, I've not read a thing. Not read 1 book this month. That's it. That's the end of the wrap up. So thank you very much for watching, and let me know what you've been watching and reading this month. Let's have a discussion. So until next time, I'll see you later. Bye bye.